So some more detailed examples. Say for this function, sum and divide, ABC, our inputs are integers a, b, and c. Alright, in this case, let's assume that they are integers. In the previous example, they were double. So a is 5, b is 15, c is 2, and the output will be, in this case, I'm adding a plus b first. That will be 20 divided by c. So this function returns 10. Take a second to try to understand what's happening. Another example that we have used before, symbol info double. This is an inbuilt function. Takes in a and b. A is a string, b is what I call enumeration. It's a special type of data type, but you don't have to worry about that for now. As you code, you will come across quite a few of functions that requires enum inputs. And in those cases, what you will do is that you will go and check the documentation of your functions. So from there, they will tell you what are the possible inputs you can put for your enum value. So in this case, A, let it be underscore symbol, which is the current symbol of the current asset, the current currency pair. And B, there's a list I can choose from, and I choose symbol bit, which tells the function that I want to retrieve the bit price. And so this function outputs certain market information depending on what you input. So based on this input, it returns the bit price of the current symbol. You've done this before in chapter 4. Yes, where we retrieve the bid and ask prices. Something extra, nested functions. You can have a function in a function. So for example, this function, power to 4, basically what it does is that it takes whatever input and raises the power of it to 4. Basically, I square it twice. So in this power to 4, I use this function called power to 2. And this power to 2 is here. I'm not going to go through this example. I recommend that you pause the video right now and try to see how it works. Alright, pause it. Okay. And temvar is just short for temporary variable. Not that the name really matters. Alright, last part. The $1 million question. Why are we even learning about functions? 3 points. The first point, it is convenient. Imagine if you have 100 trading robots, 100 EAs, and all of them requires a way to enter trades, correct? So you need to buy, you need to open positions. We can use a function for opening positions, and we can use it for each of these 100 EAs. So we do not have to code it 100 times over. So we code it once and we use it for multiple times. So that is convenient for us. Second point, neat. It makes your code modular. And by modular, think of it as it makes your code organized, and it separates your code into independent units. So each part does not affect other parts. Another way to think about it is to imagine the opposite. Without functions, if all your code are interconnected, when you change one part, you worry that it will affect 10 other areas. Alright? And you have to change the other 10 areas. So once your code gets huge, once your EA gets huge, you have a few thousand lines of code, how are you going to manage it? It'll be very difficult for you and for others. The last point, which is similar to what I just mentioned, is it for others and yourself to read and use. If you have 3,000 lines of code that you have coded 5 years ago, if you do it in a messy way, it'll be very difficult for you to understand what you have done. And it'll be even worse for other people to understand what you have done. By using functions, we make it modular, organized. We write commands, keep it neat. So it'll be easy for you and other people to read and continue working on your code.